Muslim woman says TSA forced her to show her bloodied pad during airport screening. What the? First of all, when I saw this article, I was hoping that this was some sort of Onion article, that it was just a satirical story. But unfortunately, it does not appear to be that way. I would love to know what thought process took place that resulted from a simple pat down at an airport to this. According to the article, Zainab Merchant is a graduate student at Harvard University, and apparently for at least 2 years she's been randomly selected all the time for additional screening and pat downs and investigation. She didn't know why, and every single time she asked, no one would give her an answer. However, this time security announced that they needed to take a deeper look after publicly patting her down. So apparently she asked them to do whatever they wanted to do in public so she wouldn't be or feel violated, and they were like, no, that is not how violation works. We're gonna violate you in private. And apparently patting her groin area wasn't enough, so they had to go take her to a separate room privately, do their additional screening. They said if she didn't comply, they'd force her into the room and bring security or something. They said that she couldn't call her lawyer. She couldn't even get their names or ID badges or numbers or whatever because they were covering their badges apparently. Like, what the hell? This sounds more like a cover-up at this point. I don't believe any of this is standard procedure. Is it? I mean, I don't know. I've never had this happen to me, but I mean, I've been randomly selected a million times and had to take like all the stuff for like bomb residue and gunpowder residue and all that kind of stuff. And sometimes they'll bring a dog to sniff you, then you sniff the dog and you become best friends or something. But I've never gone this far. I don't wear a headscarf. I don't do any of that. So maybe that's also why she's getting more randomly selected than other people. She's being targeted for these additional screenings. Plus, I don't have a full beard. I don't have a full unibrow. I can't grow too much facial hair. I'm not that hairy. So I'm not even that brown apparently. So maybe that's why I don't get subjected to that much additional screening. But in this case, unfortunately, Zainab Merchant was violated. And that term doesn't even do justice for what she went through. So when they took her into a private room, they forced her to pull her pants down and her underwear down and show them her pad. I don't know how else to put this, but this whole story is just disgusting. Like, the fact that TSA agents have the ability to do that in the first place. I used to always say jokingly that the only thing left for them to do when they're screening us and searching us is to just take down our pants and give us a prostate exam. But apparently, they've done that too. And to make matters worse, it turns out that she not only gets randomly selected just because she looks a certain way, she was actually on a list. Yeah, approximately 750,000 people are on a list by the government. And this watch list by the US government is a terrorist screening watch list. That's right, the government believes there are approximately 1 million people worthy of constantly harassing to make sure they're not terrorists. Because the best way to make sure someone likes the country and to make sure they're not terrorists is to constantly violate their rights. And surprise, surprise, the majority of people on that list are either Muslim or have a Middle Eastern or Southeast Asian background. And have no connection to any terrorist group whatsoever. And according to this article, if you have 4 S's on your boarding pass, it means you have been selected for a secondary security screening selectee. Yo, that sounds cool. I'm a quadruple S. I get additional screening. Yo, they selected me. They chose me for additional screening. I guess you could say I'm the chosen one. I'm so proud of my accomplishments. And when you think the story can't get any worse, apparently it does. Zainab said that when she gets selected for additional screening and all those, officials ask her these questions. They ask her about her religious beliefs and whether she's Sunni or Shia. They inquire about her thoughts about ISIS and even pull up her website and ask her why she criticized the US government policies. Okay, let's dissect these, shall we? Number 1, are you Sunni or Shia? What the hell does that have to do with anything? No, really, let me know, because I want to know what the right answer is. Because depending on the right answer, does it mean I'll get to my plane faster? Or are you more pro-Sunni or more pro-Shia? Are Sunnis more likely to commit terrorism or Shia? Like, which one are you looking for? I really got to catch my flight. And then when they ask, what are your thoughts about ISIS? Do you think that an ISIS supporter who is going to commit an act of terrorism is going to stumble over this question? They're going to be stumped Like, they have it all planned out. They have a terrorist attack planned out. They have all the suppliers. They have everything ready to go. And once they hit the airport, the moment they ask them, "You, sir, what are your thoughts on ISIS?" I don't know. Oh, you got me. Wow, I did not expect this at all. Here is the phone with all the passwords that you need to know, and with all the maps and the schematics and everything you need to disarm the weapon. Like, is this what they really think is going to happen when somebody asks this question? This is one of the most useless questions. But okay, moving on. Why did you criticize certain government policies? That is probably the most insulting question of all the three, because that is literally infringing upon your First Amendment rights to freedom of speech. You have the right to criticize any government policy, whether in the United States or in Canada or wherever. And the fact that a TSA agent is asking you why you criticize those policies, this isn't a debate where we're discussing policies and why a policy is good and a policy is bad and how we can change them for the better. No, this is an agent who's trying to interrogate you before you're allowed to enter a certain city or a country. All in all, at the end of the day, this is a really sad story. This is something that should not be happening and yet is. And this is only the ones that we found out about because someone went to the media about them. How many countless stories are there of people their rights are being violated and no one's doing anything about that? When TSA agents have the ability to pull you aside, literally strip you naked, and thoroughly and deeply inspect your hygiene products which are currently being used, one must ask themselves, have we gone too far? But until all of this is resolved, stay safe, be careful, know your rights when you travel, because apparently the TSA agents don't know your rights and they don't care. And please like, follow, share, and subscribe, because next time you get randomly selected, you're gonna need some form of entertainment. Thank you very much for watching. Until next time, assalamu alaikum, and peace be with you.
If this video gives you a stroke, diarrhea, constipation, internal bleeding, or any abdominal discomfort, ask your doctor if racism is right for you. Ignorance sold separately, logic not included.